Alright, this is part 2 of June 19th. We're focusing on the recent Supreme Court decision regarding Roe v. Wade. The first video touched on division, distraction, trying to put this message out there in hopes to bring some clarity to the much wider, broader scope of what is happening. Maybe in the second part we can focus on that with a little more clarity. Mentioned the word the dialectic in the first video. There was a post on Facebook, which is actually what inspired me to do this video, not because the topic per se is of personal interest so much as the topic is very polarizing and therefore gives a crack into which might be able to better explain the larger occulted event, play, show that seems to otherwise be behind the curtains for everyone. So I mentioned in the first video that I recognize this decision has a very real impact on people in terms of the 3D world that we live in. And I'll bring that example back. Take the recent Ukrainian-Russian war and how that is a card that the dark state is playing in order to distract us. But it's very real for those involved. If you are a Russian or Ukrainian soldier who's been drafted or whatever to go into this war, then you are very much living the effects of that decision in the 3D world, and it will be extremely hard for you to see the larger events at play that are behind it and the reasons why it was started and why you've been drawn into it. You're probably only going to be able to focus on your personal involvement with it. So, in the same sense, those that are directly and immediately impacted by the overturning of this decision are likely only going to see it for what it is on face value, how it impacts them or their perception here in the 3D world. And that's all real. I'm not discounting that at all. But we're using this as an example to look deeper. So, to translate that from the Ukrainian soldier that was just drafted or whatever, if you're a woman who was recently raped and you are now pregnant and you feel that this Supreme Court decision is going to impact your ability to make a decision with that new pregnancy, I absolutely understand where you are coming from. And that sort of example best exemplifies the intensity of the emotions that become intertwined in the significance of the decision, and how easily one can be so fixated on that very, I hate to say it, very small event, very insignificant event relative to what's really going on, the larger significance, the larger motive that is at play. So we're gonna take those directly involved. We're gonna try to address that as best as we can. There was a post on Facebook, as I just prefaced. Maybe you can go find it, and this would be a pro-abortion post. And it had these different paragraphs. This is for Rachel, this is for Amy, this is for Sarah, etc. And after each name was what is considered to be very valid, legitimate reasons by those in favor of abortion for why it should be allowed. So it's not including these the very late term ones. So it had things like the example I just gave. You've been raped. Examples of in case the health or survival of the mother's at stake. Okay. So take all those potentially valid arguments. We're going to focus on the most common, the most hot button one, which is the rape one. Why is the rape happening? This is going to be hard to sit with, but we're going to tease it out. Well, it's because there's bad people in the world. Okay. Why are there bad people? And obviously, if there's only like 10 bad people, we'd know what to do with them. But this appears to be a much larger problem. Where is that coming from? Where is this allowance of evil initiating? Some would say, well, it's our human nature, and some just can't control themselves. Let's focus on that idea of human nature. Evil is not a predisposition to humanity. Rather, humanity is programmable, and we are influenced by our environment. In the same way that a computer is programmable, except we are, as humans, greater than a computer, but use that as an example. So it begs the question, who is doing the programming? What is doing the programming? Why are they programming? Why is the world the way that it is? Why do people seem to act the way that they do? What is really initiating the thoughts, therefore emotions, and subsequent actions of people? It's not you, by and large. It's greater forces at work. Let's jump to another type of thought real quick. I mentioned this in another video. Imagine a planet where it was only inhabited by the figure, what people call Jesus. Okay, just a bunch of Jesuses, male and female versions, nothing but, basically the most perfect of humans for those that believe in who Jesus as a man or human was. Okay, so you got this planet of just Jesuses. Everything's spectacular, right? Morality is beyond 100%. Ethics is beyond 100%. Everything's perfect. Why is our world not like that? And an even better question. Would the examples as given, as far as what necessitates legitimate reasons for the abortion, would those examples ever take place? No. Those situations would not arise. Okay. So there we have our perfect example where this isn't happening. We have Earth where this is happening. What's the difference? Why are there not just a bunch of perfect Jesus-like people walking around, or something at least getting closer to that? What is programming us away from morality? It is our disconnection from natural law. So then when we are in these situations, we become dependent on an interpretation put down through laws written by men in order to determine our morality and ethics,